Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for taking the time to come and hang out with me. Okay, so Cancer season is here, along with the first day of summer. So I wanted to make sure to give each and every one of you, no matter what your sign, the goods on what to expect from Cancer season and a game plan so you can make sure that you're in sync with the universe and utilizing the energy of Cancer season to assist you in moving forward and manifesting the things you desire. So Cancer season begins when the sun enters Cancer on June 20th at 5:44 p.m. and the sun will stay in Cancer until July 22nd when the sun enters Leo. So I'll let you know what this means for your sign when it comes to navigating the next 4 weeks. Also, the new moon in Cancer happens on June 21st. So I will also let you know how that energetic opening affects your chart and the best way to use that energy to your advantage. And remember that if you have Capricorn in your chart, then the Cancer energy from June 20th to July 22nd will diminish your Capricorn energy because it's the polar opposite of Cancer. So for example, if you're a Virgo with Capricorn moon and Aries rising, during these next 4 weeks, you will be operating much more from your Virgo moon and your Aries rising because your Capricorn energy will be much less powerful due to the Cancer sun, the polar opposite, pulling on that energy. So just know if you have Capricorn in your top 3, your sun, your moon, or your rising, then you may feel a bit off balance in the upcoming weeks. So hopefully this video will help you to recalibrate and counterbalance any off balance energy and deal with any challenges moving forward. So the overall focus for Cancer season and the beginning of summer is next phase, next chapter, keeping your overall vision for the year as a reference point, but also asking yourself, okay, what is it I want to accomplish in the next 3 months? Where do I want to see myself by the beginning of fall when we hit Libra season? So keep that in mind as you're planning your course of action and your strategy for Cancer season. By the way, you can watch this video from 2 perspectives. The perspective of your rising sign, if you know it, and you can also watch from the perspective of your sun sign because the solar house chart system places the planets where they fall with 0 degrees of your sign as the ascendant. I always say if you watch from both perspectives that you'll have a good outlook for the spiritual path per your rising sign and your mental, more physical path, which would be from the perspective of your sun sign. I'm also going to make sure to touch on the Mercury retrograde that started on June 18th and ends on July 12th. Okay, so no more wasting time. Summer is here and Cancer season is underway. Let's go. Okay, Aries, so when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will take place in your 4th house, which means the start of summer for you is actually a time to bring attention to where you are living right now. It's very important during this time for you to get clear on how your home environment plays a major role in your emotional disposition and your physical energy. If you're planning on moving anytime soon, it will be best to make sure that it happens after July 12th because Mercury went retrograde on June 18th in Cancer and won't go direct until July 12th. Remember, Mercury retrograde is not a time for making big changes, unless they were changes that were already in the works. It's more of a time of going back to tie up loose ends or to finish up a project that you may have started in the past and didn't get around to finishing. It's more of a redo period, but you do want to make sure with Cancer season being in your 4th house that you make whatever adjustments regarding your home life that need to be made in order for you to honor your needs so you can make sure to harness this summer season energy without any imbalances. This Cancer season is also a good time to heal any relationships that may be off course when it comes to your family or close friends or romantic relationships. Maybe there's a family member you haven't spoken to in a while. Sometime within the next 4 weeks is actually a great time to reach out to them and reconnect. It gives the highest probability for resolution if you make the attempt to connect during this time. Now, when the new moon comes around, which is actually a solar eclipse on June 21st in Cancer, also in your 4th house, this will amplify the need for major change when it comes to your home environment. And also when it comes to reconnecting with your inner home, with your instincts. This is a great time for you to really reestablish your trust in your own intuition. So overall, Aries, this Cancer season is the beginning of a new chapter. So it's very important for you to make sure that your foundation is strong, that your home is a safe place for you to recharge your battery, and that the energy surrounding you at home helps you to connect to your inner truth. This way you can make sure that you're being guided by the voice of your instinct as opposed to your ego. making sure that you start off the summer season with peace of mind and confidence, setting a productive and optimistic tone, not just for Cancer season, but for the entire summer. Okay, Taurus, so when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 3rd house, which for you means that the main focus of this Cancer season will be on communication, keeping yourself busy with the intention of moving things along. Gemini season was that transition time for you, and now that we are at the beginning of summer, you want to plant the strong seeds of intention when it comes to what it is you want to accomplish in the next 3 months. This will actually be a very social time for you, which is well overdue. You may have been feeling a bit down and unmotivated the last few months because of all the craziness going on in the world, but Cancer season promises to bring more human connection your way. Safely, of course, but just know not only is it necessary in terms of your motivation, but it's also in alignment with the nature of things for you to deepen your connection and expand your network during this time. If there is an idea you've had for a while and you've been holding off on moving forward with it, well, Cancer season is the time to get the ball rolling. Now, Mercury is retrograde. It went retrograde on June 18th and will stay retrograde until July 12th. So when it comes to expressing these new ideas I'm talking about, you may want to use the retrograde period to plan and then take action on or after July 12th, just to make sure that there's no confusion. This way you won't end up having to go back and fix any mistakes that may have been made because of the retrograde phase. When the new moon and solar eclipse happens on June 21st in Cancer, this will also be in your 3rd house, which will just add to your mental sharpness and physical energy to take action. The eclipse may cause a huge change to be happening when it comes to either meeting someone new that is going to have a major impact on your life regarding love or work, or actually saying goodbye to someone that you know you no longer need in your life. But whether it's someone showing up or someone going away, this will have a majorly positive impact on your life as you move forward. So look out for that the next 4 weeks. So for you, Taurus, the overall theme during this Cancer season is making contacts and using your newfound alertness and surge of energy to take your ideas and make them a reality. This way, when Leo season rolls around on July 22nd, you will be in the flow, feeling confident, and making the most of your summer. Okay, Geminis, when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 2nd house. So this means that the theme of Cancer season for you is money, money, money. Now, Mercury went retrograde on June 18th and stays retrograde until July 12th. So if there was any project in the works before Mercury went retrograde, this may become final during the retrograde phase, which will also support your ability to negotiate and get the best outcome. However, if it's a new opportunity that comes up during that retrograde phase, you want to make sure that you pay very close attention to all of the details and take the process very slow. Remember, it's actually better to go to something from the past and get a redo on it during Mercury retrograde or finish it up, as opposed to starting something new. And when the new moon and solar eclipse comes along on June 21st, in Cancer, this will also be in your 2nd house, which amplifies your abilities to discover new ways to increase your income. Cancer season is the beginning of summer, so you will set the tone for the next 3 months with whatever actions you take during Cancer season. So for you, Gemini, because the focus is money, you want to make sure not to miss this energetic opening to get your finances in order. This is the perfect time to set financial goals and then work out a game plan on how you're going to achieve those goals, knowing the entire time that the stars have aligned in your favor to make sure that your financial abundance gets a boost, which will also lead to a much more pleasurable existence just in terms of ways to make sure you are enjoying life. So it's not really about taking big risks, but it is about keeping your eyes open for opportunities and making sure to enjoy yourself in the process. A good foundation phase, a new beginning, so to speak, when it comes to your financial plan. Setting clear budget goals during this time is a great idea. This way, when Leo season rolls around on July 22nd, which will be in your 3rd house, you'll be ready to branch out and put all that planning into action. So Cancer season, Geminis, enjoyment, planning, taking advantage of any opportunities that come along in preparation for Leo season, where you'll take action and take things up a notch, because at that point, you'll have your strong foundation in place. So onward and upward, Geminis. Okay, Cancers. Well, first I want to make sure to say happy birthday to all you lovable Cancers out there. I'm wishing you much love, much money, good times, and good fortune for your birthday season. Now, when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 1st house, which means, of course, a rebirth for you, Cancers. This is the best time of year for you. So you want to make sure to make the most of this energetic opening. Now, Mercury went retrograde on June 18th and will stay retrograde until July 12th. So you just want to keep in mind that this time period between those two dates is a time to get a redo on things. It's not about starting anything brand new. If you already had something in the works before June 18th, then great, continue with it. Do your thing and make the most of it. Mercury will not get in your way. It will actually assist with the things that have already been in the works. But if something brand new shows up, Cancers, do your best to not make any final decisions regarding the opportunity until after July 12th if possible. If you must move forward with it, just make sure to really take your time so there are no misunderstandings or miscommunications that may cause problems in the future. And when the new moon solar eclipse in Cancer comes along on June 21st, this will also be in your first house, which will really support the idea of major change. So Cancers, this is your time to look at your life and say to yourself, what are the things about me that I know I want to transform? And then start that transformation, start that journey. Start it by saying to yourself, I know the behaviors and thought patterns I have that yield negative results. So I'm gonna make a commitment to myself to bring awareness to those behaviors so when they show up, I can make a change. I can begin this transformation. Knowing the behaviors that no longer serve you and the behaviors that you intend to use to replace those old behaviors when they come up. This is how the transformation will begin. This is the time where you can truly get in touch with your authentic self, your identity, and your sense of purpose. So Cancers, use this time, your season, to establish your intentions, to establish the vision of what it is you want to carve out in life. So this way, by the time Leo season rolls around, you will be in the flow, you will have your goals in place, your actions will be clear, and all former ways of being that resulted in frustration, you will have left behind as a distant memory. So goals, Cancer, that is what Cancer season is all about. Setting new goals, establishing and embracing the new you when it comes to the relationship with yourself, with your career, with your higher power, with your instinct, and with family, friends, and romance. New beginnings across the board. So let's go, Cancers. Okay, Leos, so when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 12th house, which means that Cancer season for you is actually a time for going inward and recharging. Now, I know this doesn't sound too exciting, Leos, because this is the beginning of summer, which usually means breaking out and having a good time. So just know that just because Cancer season is in your 12th house, it doesn't mean that you won't be having a good time. It just means that it isn't a time for pushing ahead or jumping into new projects. So it actually can be a lot of fun if you think of it as an opportunity to take a vacation from focusing on goals and making the next 4 weeks about focusing on you, on reflection, and establishing some endings to the relationships, habits, and thought patterns that no longer serve you. This actually works great because of the fact that Mercury went retrograde on June 18th and will stay that way until July 12th. So your journey is right in alignment with the activities that are supported by retrograde. So for you, Leos, it's not about starting anything new. It's more about tending to anything you may have started in the past and didn't finish, or healing some relationships that may be out of balance, and just deciding overall to do a little spiritual house cleaning by getting rid of outdated habits and thought patterns. You'll be making room for all of the gifts the universe has coming your way. When the new moon solar eclipse comes along on June 21st in Cancer, it will also be in your 12th house, which further accentuates the fact that you are being given the opportunity for a spiritual reboot. And the way to make the most of this is by letting go of an agenda in the physical world and embracing the idea of spiritual transformation. So Cancer season for you, Leos, is actually a vacation, a time for you to take a break from the heaviness that life can bring, so you can recharge your battery, reconnect to your inner truth, and allow new desires and new vision for your future to take form. This way, you are more than ready for action when your season, Leo season, rolls around on July 22nd. Okay, Virgos, when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 11th house, which is a great transit for you, Virgos. It is the beginning of summer, and with the sun being in Cancer moving through your 11th house, you will finally get some reward for all of your hard work. The effort you have put forth will pay off through your connections and your networking. So this is a great time to reach out to the people in your web of connections that have the potential to support your journey towards achieving your goals. Now make sure that if there's anything brand new that you have not been working on, that you have an inclination to start, make sure that you hold off on that until Mercury is done with its retrograde phase. It went retrograde on June 18th and will stay that way until July 12th. So use that time to take the ideas that you already had in the works and finish them up and move forward with those. Or maybe even go back to something that you started, you took a long break from and never finished, and give that some energy. Remember, retrograde is all about getting a redo on things. Making sure to use the energy of Mercury to support that sort of activity will surely yield good results during this time. When the new moon solar eclipse comes along on June 21st in Cancer, this will also be in your 11th house, which will further give you momentum to the possibilities of turning previous hard work into bountiful income. Especially pay close attention to the power, like I said, of the connections you have built. Networking is key during Cancer season for you Virgos, especially with relationships that you have had for an extended period of time. So where last month was more about planning for you, this 4-week period is go time, Virgos. Time to put your plan into action and embrace the summer energy, because it is definitely one that will support forward movement for you. Hit the ground running on this one and you will be in a great flow by the time Leo season comes around on July 22nd. Okay, Libras, when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 10th house. So for you Libras, this Cancer season is going to be all about your career and establishing a strong foundation for how you make money. The good thing about this is, because this energetic shift is happening, you will actually have the physical energy and the mental motivation to get things done. Remember, Cancer season begins the summer season, and the beginning of any season is all about planting seeds for that 3-month period. Now, spring is all about planting seeds for the entire year, so that is the overall big picture. But when it comes to each season, you want to set some short-term goals also, so you can make the most of the energy within each season. Mercury went retrograde on June 18th and stays retrograde until July 12th, so it's best not to begin anything completely new during that time. Now, if you've been looking for a new job prior to this or working on a new idea prior to the 18th, then go for it. Some new opportunities show up that are connected to this, so don't hold back because they aren't altogether brand new. Mercury retrograde actually has a very positive effect on anything that you're continuing or redoing. If there is something completely new that shows up during this time and you need to finalize a deal surrounding it or sign any agreements, then just make sure you take your time and you're very, very clear on the terms. Other than that, Libras, Mercury retrograde should be no problem for you. Now on June 21st, there is a new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, which is also in your 10th house, which will amplify your power and capacity to make a big change or transformation when it comes to your professional life and your financial abundance. So prepare to be busy, Libras, in the best possible way. This is a powerful 4-week period for you, so see it as go time. The stars are aligned to support you, so take things step by step with the certainty that as long as you follow your instinct and stay grounded in the present moment, then choices you make during this time will be the correct ones in terms of bringing forward movement and fulfillment. Enjoy this Cancer season, Libras. It's going to be a good one. Okay, Scorpios, when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 9th house, which for you Scorpios mean you will actually be ready to make leaps forward. Recently, you've been feeling a little weighed down emotionally. However, when the sun shifts into Cancer season, you will get a boost of energy and start to focus outward on adventure and risk-taking. Now remember, Mercury went retrograde on June 18th and will stay retrograde until July 12th, so you don't want to start anything that is completely new during this time or schedule any trips, but you can for sure take some ideas that you may have started and never finished and revisit them and see them through during this time. This way, you're using the energy of Mercury retrograde in a way that was intended, which is to get a redo on things. The new moon solar eclipse will take place on June 21st in Cancer, which will also be in your 9th house, adding even more emphasis to the fact that your spirit wants a rebirth in terms of new experiences that enrich your awareness and bring a newfound optimism about life. So for you Scorpios, Cancer season is all about spiritual expansion. The beginning of any 3-month season, like summer, is always initiated by a cardinal sign. For spring, it's Aries, and for summer, it's Cancer. So remember, you want to make sure and set some short-term goals for yourself that you want to see manifest by the end of summer. And for you Scorpios, it's about looking inward and making that soul connection with yourself to really find out what you want and the next steps to take to get it. But above all else, see Cancer season as a time to break out of any boring day-to-day activities that you've been partaking in and trade those in for new activities that expand your mind and feed your desire for more fire in your life. So this is the beginning of a new chapter for you Scorpios. So remain excited and give yourself the permission to take some risks and break out of whatever cloud of discontent the past 3 months have put you in. A big change is happening and it begins right now. So live it up, Scorpios. This is gonna be a great 4 weeks for you. Okay, Sagittarius, when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 8th house, which means transformation, Sagittarius. It's perfect timing because the start of Cancer season also marks the start of summer, and anytime we shift into a new 3-month season, it is an opportunity for new beginnings and planting seeds for short-term goals that support your big picture goals that you set for yourself in the beginning of spring. Now remember, Mercury went retrograde on June 18th in Cancer and stays retrograde until July 12th. So make sure if you have any deals that you're working on that you don't finalize those deals during this time unless they were something that you started before the 18th, before June 18th. Mercury retrograde is all about finishing up unfinished business as opposed to starting something brand new. So focus on building. And when I say building, I mean building on the ideas you already had in the works, or maybe even an idea from the past that you started and forgot about. Mercury retrograde is the perfect time to revisit those ideas. When the new moon solar eclipse comes along on June 21st in Cancer, this will also be in your 8th house, so it is amplifying your ability to uncover your personal strengths and to tap into talents that you may not even know you had. This is a great time for you to gain clarity in your relationships, both personal and professional. So overall, Sagittarius, this Cancer season is going to be about revealing the truth of what is and how it relates to what it is you want. A time where you can gain this clarity and it will act as a motivation to move you forward through the next phase. So use the next 4 weeks as a time of empowerment that is preparing you to make major leaps this summer. But you must get very clear on what it is that you want, how you plan on getting it, and who is in your support team that you're going to take along with you on the journey, and who you may need to let go because they're not delivering in the way that they may have promised. This will set you up to be ready to capitalize on the upward momentum when Leo season rolls around on July 22nd. Okay, Capricorns, Cancer season is one of your most difficult times of year, and this is why. Cancer is the opposing energy to Capricorn. So during this 4-week period, the Capricorn energy in your chart will be greatly diminished. So for example, if you're a Capricorn sun with Scorpio moon and Cancer rising, then you'll be operating much more from your Scorpio moon and your Cancer rising during this period because Capricorn is on a bit of a vacation. So bringing awareness to this fact is going to help you in making sure to do the things that you know keep you balanced and on track because you won't be operating from your usual energetic disposition. Now, when the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 7th house, which means that for the next 4 weeks, Capricorn, you don't want to take your usual I got it all covered perspective. You want to make sure that you strengthen your ability to work in a partnership, whether it's in business with a partner or in your personal life. You want to make sure that you aren't trying to do it all on your own. You'll benefit by allowing yourself to let someone in and trust that they will be able to pull up and carry their weight with whatever it is the two of you have going on. Mercury went retrograde on June 18th and will stay retrograde until July 12th. So you want to make sure, if possible, to not start anything brand new. Retrograde is a period where the energy supports redoing things, ideas you may have had and then started in the past that you didn't finish, or relationships that may have broken down that you want to resolve. The retrograde period is the perfect time for going back and giving energy to those situations. When the new moon solar eclipse comes along in Cancer on June 21st, this will also be in your 7th house, which further amplifies your energy around relationships and resolving any past issues and redefining the connection from a place of new beginnings. Remember, balance is the key when dealing with relationships. Are you giving as much as you're receiving? Are you feeling appreciated? And more than anything, Capricorns, are you allowing someone else to be a part of your inner world and the decision-making process. Like I said, this Cancer season is bringing you the opportunity to build your relationships and finally get some support so you don't have to go at it alone. This way you'll be feeling strong within your partnerships so you can be ready to make major leaps forward this Cancer season as it leads into Leo season on July 22nd. Okay, Aquarius. When the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 6th house, which means that Cancer season will be a time for getting organized. Remember, Cancer season is the start of summer, so the seeds of intention that you plant during the next 4 weeks will determine what your summer will look like. You want to make sure to tend to your health as well during this time. It is so important to make sure that you're seeing your health as a top priority, because if you ignore that, it may be a problem down the road in the near future. But the overall theme is improvement. Now, Mercury went retrograde on June 18th and will stay retrograde until July 12th, which will actually work well with this theme of improvement for your Cancer season, Aquarius. This is because Mercury retrograde is all about going back and finishing unfinished business, revisiting some creative ideas that you may have had but then let go of, and just overall resolving any unresolved issues. So look at Cancer season as less of a breakout time period for you, Aquarius, and more of a time to really strengthen your foundation when it comes to health, love, and work. When the new moon solar eclipse takes place on June 21st in Cancer, this will also be in your 6th house, which will support your efforts of getting rid of the things that no longer work in your life, improving the things that you intend to keep around, and building on your own skill set in the necessary areas of your life that you know will benefit you in the long run. The next 4 weeks for you, Aquarius, are all about getting your mind, body, and soul connection all on the same page and in the flow. This way you'll be ready for action when Leo season rolls around on July 22nd. So the theme for Cancer season, Aquarius, is enthusiastically taking care of business so you have a strong, clear, energetic foundation moving forward with no unresolved energy. Okay, Pisces. When the sun shifts into Cancer on June 20th, this will be in your 5th house, so this Cancer season will be all about self-expression and coming out of that nesting phase that Gemini season was bringing along. Gemini season was about adapting and transitioning, and for you, Pisces, recharging your battery. Well, that battery is charged, and Cancer season is all about you being spontaneous and taking risks. Now, Mercury went retrograde on June 18th and will stay retrograde until July 12th. So during that time, you don't want to start anything that is 100% new. Remember, Mercury retrograde is a time that supports going back and finishing up things that you have already started. So during that time, you might want to look into some previous creative ideas that you had and use this retrograde period to focus on finishing those ideas up. This way, when Mercury retrograde is over, you'll not have missed a beat because you were spending that time in the most productive way possible, and you can get right back to capitalizing on the fact that Cancer season for you is all about having a good time, Pisces. When the new moon solar eclipse comes along on June 21st in Cancer, this will also be in your 5th house, amplifying that this time of year for you is to spread your joy and have a big transformation when it comes to life and love. Follow the flow of this energy, Pisces, and by that I mean allow yourself to have fun and focus on just enjoying life during this Cancer season. And if you're in a relationship, this will be a time where you can deepen the connection, and if you're single, this will really amp up the odds of you meeting someone and beginning a new relationship. So Cancer season is a passionate time for you, Pisces. It's the beginning of summer, and summer love is for sure in the air. You will be feeling bold and full of life, so enjoy it. This is going to be a great 4-week period, so ride that wave of excitement so you can be ready to keep that energy going when Leo season comes around on July 22nd. Okay, so there you have it. What to expect for each sign during Cancer season, the new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, and Mercury retrograde in Cancer. I hope you all found this information useful. Remember, be clear on your goals and intentions during this Cancer season because it sets the tone for what you can expect to manifest for the entire summer. Let's make the most of this energy. I'm sending you all positivity, and I'm looking forward to all of us adapting back to life outside of the house as we begin this summertime journey together. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching and taking the time to hang out with me. I will see you in the next video.